Beefcake!
Hey! What's up, my peoples? EmGo here, the freaking geek himself, and today we will be reviewing the Transformers MPM-6 masterpiece movie, Ironhide. So here we are, and there he is, and first and foremost, as always, we'll take a quick look at the packaging. So right up front here, we have Ironhide in his robot mode, in his vehicle mode, Transformers! On the side of the box, we have Ironhide. On this side of the box, we have Ironhide. On the top of the box, Masterpiece Movie. On the bottom of the box, things and barcodes. On the back of the box, you have your obligatory product chassis. Does that, things, stuff, things, stuff, and things. And that's basically it for the packaging. Then moving right along, here we have a Masterpiece Movie, Ironhide. And here he is in his vehicle mode. Now, one thing I will say about this figure, you know, he's fiddly. He's definitely a fiddly figure, but he's definitely not the nightmare that people have made him out to be. I mean, like I said, I don't dispute the fiddle factor. He definitely has the fiddle factor, but I got him into truck mode just fine. First time I transformed him, and everything is together. I don't have any giant gaps anywhere. Nothing broke. Everything is sitting just fine. The only gap I have is just back here. This little back panel should actually be sitting a little bit more flush, and that's the only thing that won't sit flush on mine. This little hood section here, that's just the nature of how this is molded. This just seems like it was a bit of a little bit of a design flaw, because this little section right here doesn't raise up anymore because that's just on a hinge on the back. These sections of the hood don't move down any further, so it just seems like that's a little bit of a miscalculation there in the design process. I don't think there's any way to actually fix that. I could be wrong, but that just is what it is, you know, to the best of my knowledge anyway. But everything else, you know, has come together just fine. I have no real issues. I just likes to come apart because the tabs are just coming down a little bit. But there you go. See? But everything comes together just fine. Like I said, the only real gap issue I have is just that little bit right there, and that's even not that bad. So, you know, yeah. I got it together just fine. Could just be a case of your mileage may vary. I don't know. Sometimes tolerances do vary from figure to figure. That does happen. So, you know, yeah, could just be my copy was a better copy, and some people got a copy that wasn't so good. I don't know. When it comes to fiddly Transformers, I've had worse. I've had way worse. I mean, El Cid. That's all I really have to say. This figure I at least want to transform again. Like, I don't hate transforming it. It's still, you know, like I said, fiddly, but, you know, it's not a case of, oh my god, I never want to touch this thing again. No, it's actually, you know, like I said, fiddly, but comes together just fine. But anywho, here he is in his truck mode. Let's get in close here so we can take a look at the details. You got the GMC right up front, road armor. You got some nice silver up front as well. See the headlights there, done in silver with some white back there. You got this little transparent yellow lights up top. You also have some lights down here as well, done in silver. Down here again, you got the road armor logo. You got some bits picked down in silver here on the sides. Autobot symbol right there. The side view mirrors are a soft-ish plastic. You can see the transparent windshields and windows. You also have the transparent yellow up top as well. Silver going down the sides. Got the smokestacks, which are a soft bendy plastic. The 4x4. On the back, you can see you got the Autobot symbol there, just molded into the tailgates. And you got the taillights done in red, yellow, gray, more red. Little GMC logo back there. Very nicely painted. Gotta represent. You can see his robot mode toes are just kind of hanging out the back there. There you go. There's the top. There's the bottom. He rolls. As rolling things should. Hooray for rolling. And there you have that. Now for comparison, we're going to bring in a couple of Ironhides. Just a couple. Here it is with the original 2007 Voyager Ironhide. Here it is with the Studio Series Ironhide. And here he is with the Leader Class Ironhide. And with his fellow Movie One Masterpiece Movie Toys, here he is with Barricade. Here he is with Bumblebee. And here he is with Masterpiece Movie Optimus Prime. Now, as far as accessories go, he does include his cannons, because he loves to show you his cannons. Here's the one. You can see it is quite nicely detailed. A lot of detail going on there. Looks very cool. You got some nice silver paints on there as well. Looks quite good. You can see the barrels here. You can rotate. And you have his other big cannon here. Again, very nicely detailed with some nice silver paint on it as well. And the barrel of this can also rotate. And you can store these on the vehicle mode. You have these little posts here that you just kind of flip down. And these just plug in to the sides right here. And you just push it in. And you just take this one and you push it in. And there you go. There you got the weapons stored. If you want to store them. It's a place for them to go if you want them to go somewhere. So that is basically it for the truck mode. So let's get down to transformation, shall we? Let's! Alrighty. So we just want to obviously remove the weapons and just put those off to the side. And we shall begin. So first thing you want to do, and oops, you can see this roof section here. This is the only problem I have with mine, this little roof section here. If you get that squeezed together, it usually doesn't pop up. But yeah, it's the only issue I have with mine. But anyway, we're going to come to this roof section here after I raise the camera, and that's where we're going to start. So you just want to take this and just pop this up and just bring that forward. Then you're going to come to these side panels here, just pop these up, bring these up, and that will just tab in right there. Pop that up, pop it up, pop it up, pop, pop, pop. Get the hinge going, there you go. And just bring that around. That will tab in right there like so. You do want to come up in here, and the wheels do tab into these sections here, so you just want to untab those, loosen those up like that. And you want to come here to the front bumper and just bring it down so that untabs. And then this whole assembly here will raise up like that. And once you have that loosened up, you want to come to this section here where the side view mirror is, and you just want to raise that up because that section is tabbed in right in there, like so. So you just want to raise that up, and just raise that up and untab that. And last thing you want to do is just take these two panels here and just split these like so. And that basically frees up the arms. You can see how the hands are tucked in there. They do fit in there just fine. And once you do that, you just want to untab these sections here. And then just kind of raise the arm up and bring everything out. Then just untab and just kind of raise it up and bring it out. Now, one thing I found that makes life a little bit easier is you can see how I have the hands folded up in here. You can see how I have the fingers, and the thumb I leave out because when you have the thumb curled in, it just seems like it makes for a little bit more of a problem. So just leaving the thumb up like that, just have them doing a thumbs up, just makes life a lot easier because then you can kind of, you know, adjust the hands in here and the thumb is not an issue because it's never in the way. So that just works for me. Don't know if it really makes life any easier, but it just seems like it does anyway. So I just leave the thumbs up when going into truck mode. If you watch the JTI, you'll see all of this. But once you get all that done, you just undo all of this. Let me raise up a little bit more. I need some more room to operate. Okay. And you just take this hood section here, and you just kind of, you want to take the front section here, just kind of tip it forward so you don't break that little tab right there. Just bring it forward, just like tilt it down as you're pulling it out, like so. And that just frees all of this up, like so. So at this point now, we can take this section here, just bring that down, and then we can take these sections here, and they will come down, and they will just drop right into these clips right here. Just clip that in, bring that down, and clip that in, like so. Another thing you want to do here, which is a little step I always forget, you want to take these little sections here, these little grill sections, and get a grip on them, and just slide them out. Slide them out, rotate it around, and then slide it back in, and you'll have the little split GMC logo there on his chest. It's not a necessary step by any means. It doesn't make a world of difference, but if I don't do it, 100 people will tell me about it, so, you know. So you want to do that, or not do that. Totally up to you. Like I said, not totally necessary. But flip that around. And there you go. So you got the split GMC there on the chest. Alright, so once you do that, we can bring up his head. We can come back here and work on all of this. So you take this, you just fold it in half, and it will tab together. This will fold down like so. Bring that up, I'll just collapse, and you just take all this, and this will just tuck right into the body like that. This back section right here, you just pull this up. This will all just untab. You can see these little pegs go in here as well, so just bring that up. Take this section here, and this will just rotate around like so. And then you can take these, bring these in. You want to make sure this little black tab here is as high up as it'll go, and this will just come up. His arm's in the way. This will just tab right up in here. Just line all that up, push it in. There you go. So once you have all that done, you can basically just take the chest piece here, bring it up, because there's a little tab that will go right in there. So just line all that up, push that in, without clicking in place. And we got that going. So at this point now, we can work on the arms. We can just take this panel here, bring that up, flip out this piece, bring it down. There's another little step that I usually always forget. Bring it up, bring it down. Now you got that going. So now for the arms, the front windshield, there is a tab that just goes right up in there. If it hasn't already undone itself, just undo that. And then you just bring the arm down, like so. This section of the windshield just comes up on that double hinge. This just flips all the way up, and that just stays there like that. Which looks sloppy. That could have been better, but oh well, it is what it is. And once we've done that, we take this section here. It's on double hinge, and this will just come around and sit higher up behind his forearm, like that. At this point now, we can just take his hands, bring the thumb down, and just get all that situated. And we'll worry about the shoulder pads in a little bit. We'll save that for last, really. So again, just take the arm, bring it down. Second verse is just like the first, as one would imagine. Bring that up, bring that up. Take this, swing it around and back. And then you just get his hand situated, bring his thumb back down, like so. There's a little tab here as well that seems like it's supposed to kind of sit in here, but it doesn't actually tab into place because like these little transparent tabs kind of get in the way of it actually plugging in anywhere. Again, I don't know if that's supposed to or if that's just a place for it to rest. I'm not entirely sure, but I don't know. I don't know. But for the most part, we have the upper body all done. So now we'll move on to the lower body here. So you just take this back section, split it apart, and we will now work on the legs. So this panel here, you just want to bring out to the side. So this section on tabs, fold this down. That'll just tab in right up in there. Tab that in, and then you want to untab this section here, like so. Oh, first you want to bring up his toes. Bring up the toes first. Then you want to untab this. And free all that up. Boop, and there you go. And bring his foot down just a couple of clicks. And you just want to take this section here. It does tab in right up in here. Just untab that. And this will just swing up. This section will just come in, tab in right there, like so. This section right here, you just want to pull it out, rotate this around, and then this will fold in. Make sure it folds in under this piece right here. So just fold that in and around his leg. If you can get everything situated here, there is a little post in here you have to line up. So just kind of get all that situated and pushed back in, bring that around, and that will tab in right there like so. And once you get that done, this section here has a little slot right underneath it. Right underneath the black section, there's a little slot. That's this little tab goes into, so you just bring that down and just kind of push this up, and that'll just kind of swoop into place. I kind of hold that there. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's just a case of whether or not you just have it lined up just right. And that way when you bend the knee, this piece conceivably should go with it. Most of the times it does. But of course now that the camera's on, it wants to fight me a little bit. Like I said, he's fiddly. He's fiddly. But there you go. But you got a leg all done. Second pass is just like the first. So untap that. Bring it down. Bring the toe up. And, oh, we're not done with the foot yet, actually. No, you want to take this little section of his foot here, swing that out. There we go. Now we're done with the leg. So now let's continue on. Sometimes there's some little steps that you just forget. There's a lot of steps, this guy. There's a lot of little steps. Anyway, you undo that. Bring that up onto his thigh. Swing that in. Pull this section out. Rotate it around like so. Slide it back in. Swing this under and around. Plug it in, plug it in. And again, just try to get that section lined up with that little tab right there. Just kind of push it up. And hopefully it'll swoop for you. Like so. Flip out that section there of his foot. And we got that done there. So now let's talk about the shoulder pads here. Now the shoulder pads don't actually lock in anywhere. Like these are pretty much always just kind of floating around. Why they did that, I don't know. Maybe it's just because of the way the arms are designed, because you can see the arms are kind of sitting behind these pieces. And I'm guessing maybe they thought as a way to give him some more articulation in the arms, have these pieces just kind of free floating, but then it's like sometimes gravity takes effect and the arm will just drop, so it's not even really good for posing. So I don't know what they were thinking with the shoulder pads. I don't know. There should have just been a locking point for them, but anyway, they are on, I don't know if you can see it, they're on a double hinge in there. So you just want to take them and just kind of shift them up. Like so. So shift them up. And I found that if you just kind of, you know, bring them forward and then just kind of splay it out like so, you know, they'll hold in place. It's not a locking point by any means. I mean, still, if you start going with it, they're going to come undone. But if you just kind of bring them up and just kind of splay them out, they'll stay put, you know. So that's pretty much the best I can come up with anyway. And those wheels, you just kind of push those in. But I think we're done. Did we miss any tiny little steps? I might have. I think I got everything. But I think we're done. I think we're done. And so there you have Masterpiece Movie Ironhide in his robot mode. And he looks like Movie Ironhide. I mean, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He looks like Movie Ironhide, and he does look very, very cool in my opinion. I do love the look of the figure. Looks quite nice. Very Ironhidey. Very, very Ironhidey. But yeah. So let's give him his weapons just to finish off the look, and they just peg in right back here onto these panels. Plug them right in. Plug it in, plug it in. And then he can show you his cannons. There you go. And these back panels here, the best you can do is just kind of, you know, you kind of swing them around. They're on their own little rotating section here, so you kind of like bring them back, kind of get them out of the way. That's my only real problem with the robot mode, is just these. Well, that and the shoulder pad's not locking into place. So my only real issues with the robot mode. There he is. Oh, nice and IRONHIDE. Now let's get in close here so we can take a look at that beautiful, beautiful face of his. But a really nicely done head sculpt. Got a little battle damaged face going on there, but really nice head sculpt. Got some nice silver paint going on there. You've got some little like Cybertronian writing there on the sides. Looks quite cool. Nice blue there on the eyes. Again, that nice silver there on the face. So really nicely done head sculpt. And moving down the body. You got some nice detail going on there. You got some bits picked out in gold. He does have a die-cast crotch. Because, hey, you know, if you need some extra reinforcement anywhere, that's where it should be. But some nice detail going on there in the arms. Got some bits picked out there in silver. Got these bits right there as well. And just complement the cannons. There's some nice detail going on in the legs. These bits right here are die-cast as well. These knee bits. The feet are die-cast. As you can see, look pretty good. And moving up the back, the legs are fine as far as you know, kind of junk hanging off of him. A little bit of a backpack again. These little panels hanging off the back of his arms. Not great, but not too bad. Not too bad. Now articulation wise, the head can rotate, can do a full 360. You can look all the way up. You can totally squirrel. You can totally do that. His mouth can also open and close, so you can just you can do that if you want to. Hey, why not? As far as the arms go, again, his shoulders are like back here. You know, again, these are just kind of free floating, so you kind of do what you want there if you need him to do something. His shoulders themselves can rotate on a ratchet here, can move forward and back, in and out. You do have a hinge here that allows you to kind of get his arms forward, kind of, sort of. You know, works for posing. It's a tight ratchet too. You do have bicep rotation. You do have over 90 degrees of bend there at the elbow. As far as the hands go, you do have wrist rotation, also a hinge that allows the hands to move in and out. The thumb is on a hinge at the base and a hinge right there at the middle of the thumb. And the fingers, hands do open and close. The index finger is a separate piece with two hinges, and the other three fingers are just, you know, one piece with a hinge at the base and a hinge right there in the middle. He does have waist rotation. He also has an ab crunch, which is quite nice. Oops. That wasn't tabbed in properly. Legs can go forward. Only that far if you leave the hips where they are, but the hips can actually move outward on this hinge here. And once you do that, you can get them doing some high kicks. So you can have that going on if you use this extra joint here. And the legs can also move back that far. You can bring that back down. Again, you can get about that much backward movement there. There's no thigh rotation, but there is rotation right above the knee. As far as knee articulation goes, you only get just a couple of clicks. That's as much knee bend as you're getting there. And the feet, they can move up a click, move down a couple more clicks due to transformation. You do get some ankle tiltage. You do get a toe joint as well. And you can move this side section of his foot down if you need it to support any poses. So there you have that. And now for comparison. Here he is with the 2007 Voyager IRONHIDE. So you can see how that works out. Here he is with the Studio Series IRONHIDE. And here he is with the leader class, Ironhide. And just because, here he is with the masterpiece, G1 Ironhide. So, there you have that. Now for the other masterpiece movie boys, here he is with Barricade. And lastly, here he is with Masterpiece Movie Prime. It's my knockoff version, but it's the same mold. Here's with Prime, and we'll bring in Bumblebee 2, so you can see how they all look together. So, there you go. So, there you have Masterpiece Movie Ironhide. I personally like the figure. I think it's cool. Definitely not perfect. Not a perfect figure. Definitely does have its issues. The transformation going into truck mode definitely could have been a bit smoother. He's definitely fiddly going into truck mode. Not impossible. Like I said, he's not the nightmare transformation people are making it out to be. I got him transformed just fine the first time right out of the box. Again, it took some fiddling, but, everything came together just fine. It's just that, on mine anyway, that the back part of the roof panel is the only part that kind of doesn't want to stay put for me. But everything else came together just fine. Again, with some fiddling, but it all came together just fine. In terms of fiddly Transformers, I've had way worse in terms of fiddly Transformers, so this was a walk in the park for me. But again, like I said, that could just be a case of your mileage may vary. I don't know. The shoulder pads definitely should have had some kind of locking point, and it kind of sucks that they don't. The only thing I'm thinking is, like I said earlier in the video, like maybe they just kind of left these kind of floating around just to help with the arm articulation. That's the only thing I can guess as far as their logic behind it. Or maybe we're all just doing it wrong. Maybe at some point somebody's going to put out the everyone's doing it wrong video, and, there might actually be a locking point that we're all just missing. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I really don't like the panels, the folded up panels that are just hanging off the backs of his arms. I feel like that could have been handled a bit more elegantly, but, oh well, it is what it is. So while this figure is not perfect, there are definitely things that could have been improved. I do still quite dig him. But as always, that is just my opinion. I leave it to you to judge for yourself. So, there you go. Now, if you would like this or any other Masterpiece movie toys, you can always check out BigBadToyStore.com for availability. There will be a link in the description down below, so you can check that out. You can also check out my Transformers Movie Toys playlist for any reviews you may have missed. Also linked in the description down below, so you can check that out as well. And I think that's it. So don't forget to check out EmGo's, check out Lori Plan, follow me on Twitter, all that good stuff down in the description below. And I think that's pretty much all there is to say. So there is the Transformers MPM-6 Masterpiece Movie Ironhide. And this is EmGo saying, remember, you don't stop playing because you grow old because you stop playing. Be geek, be proud, palm in your face. Come on, Prime, let's just run in there and show these Decepticons what we're made of. Easy, Ironhide. We can't just go running into a situation guns blazing. We have to be smart about this. But Prime! No, that's my line. Who are you? I'm you from the past. I have no memory of this. What did you turn into? A van? I'm glad I forgot. Hey!